Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're doing very, very well. It is the big game this weekend, arguably the main event of this opening weekend of Premier League action. We are at Old Trafford for Manchester United taking on Arsenal. Ruben Amorim against Mikel Arteta. Benjamin Sesko, although he's not starting, against Victor Gyökeres. Bruno Fernandes against Declan Rice. Brian Mbeumo and Mateus Cunha against Gabriel and William Saliba. This one has all the makings of a feisty encounter. Probably not a game that used to. Probably not a game that a definite Premier League classic. Don't get me wrong, but maybe not a game that is fought tooth and nail as much as it was in the year of yester. But still, a very highly anticipated game. A game that everybody likes the look of. Everybody can. Whether you've got a horse in this race or whether you're a neutral or a rival, can sort of enjoy, can sort of sit back, watch and enjoy, because it is still a feisty encounter whenever these two teams meet, regardless of the situation that both clubs find themselves in. And this kicks off both of their seasons. This is a game that kicks off both of their seasons, and it's a big year ahead for both. For Man United, it's all about trying to get back into Champions League contention. Do they have the squad to do it? I don't necessarily think they have. I put them to finish fifth. So they very well could, depending on how the coefficiency for English football goes. But I do think that they have some areas of the squad that they need to work on, areas of the squad that they need to improve. And I do think that maybe through not necessarily a case of them having the squad to do it, but maybe other teams sort of falling off a little bit, other teams maybe declining as the season goes on with having European football commitments or other commitments in other areas. Man United could really take advantage of that, and they probably will get back into a European football spot of some description, but I'm not 100% sure what that European spot will be. As for Arsenal, the goal is simple. Win a major honour, in my opinion. Like a lot of people may say, well, if he wins the Carabao Cup and has a good showing in the Premier League, that may be enough to save Arteta. I don't think it should be. I really don't think it should be. I don't think a Carabao Cup can paper over the cracks of a squad that has had coming up to $1 billion now spent on it over the past 5 or 6 years or so. And I've only got one FA Cup. And if you want to count the Community Shields, Mr. Arteta, then by all means go for it. But not many of us will. 2 Community Shields to show for it. I don't think just a trophy of any description is good enough. I think it has to be one of the major honours this year. And I think it has to be one of the Champions League or the Premier League. Do I think they have the squad capable of doing it? If injuries are not going to be an issue, everybody manages to stay fit this year, which is probably going to be impossible because everybody suffers with injuries. So I'm not hearing the excuse of injuries. I'm just saying that I think Arsenal's squad depth has decreased this year. Yes, they've done well to recruit Victor Gyökeres, but I was under the impression last year that the striker was the main area they needed to strengthen. They didn't. It took them another year to get that striker. And over the course of that year, I think more and more problems have become apparent that as the year went on, a striker clearly wasn't the only issue at Arsenal, and they need to plug other areas. I think they've got a creativity issue. They need to sign Eze. The fact that Eze is still at Crystal Palace. Completely baffles me to say that he had a fairly respectable release clause for someone who's Premier League proven. I do think there are problems with Arsenal, as with Man United, but the difference is that Arsenal have had the best part of 5 years under Mikel Arteta to solve those issues. And there are still glaring problems, in my personal opinion, with the Gunners. You'd expect that with United, having only been with Ruben Amorim for just under a year now. But for Arsenal, I still think there are problems. And yes, they very well could go on and win today. But I just think over the longer period of time, there are issues there for Arsenal. I really do think that. Anyway, we're going to get on with the live stream as soon as it kicks off. We are just over 5 minutes away from kicking things off at Old Trafford. I hope everybody is doing well. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And of course, get involved in the chat, you lovely, lovely people. Let me know your questions for today's game. Let me know your thoughts on today's game. And also let me know about the Chelsea game or the Forest game, which took place earlier on today. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling about that. We will touch on it as well. I will speak my mind on... I didn't see the Forest-Brentford game. I was watching the Chelsea game, but I have some thoughts on the Chelsea game that I want to put out there. So let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling about all of that. And first and foremost, big up to Ballum, who's in the chat already, my guy. Lovely to have you on board with us, my bro. I hope you're doing well. Could be a draw this. I went for a draw in my predictions. I just think, I mean, my head is obviously saying Arsenal to win, but my gut was telling me go for a draw. I just think the newly formed United attack will pose some very, very interesting food for thought for Arsenal's defence. And I think that, you know, Gyökeres hasn't had much of a pre-season. That could be a hindrance to him as the game wears on. I do worry about the United goalkeeper. I do worry about the United defence. But at the same time, I do think United can potentially get something, especially with them being at home. So I agree. I'm good, man. I'm good. Hope you are too. Seeing here, that's good. Everything is seemingly in check and working. 921. Yeah, big up to every single one of those 921 subs, man. It really does mean a lot to me, and I really do appreciate it. We've had an awesome week. We've had an awesome week in terms of the support for the channel, the love for the channel, and I really do appreciate each and every single one of you. So I honestly cannot thank you enough for the love and support. And like I say, if you want to keep on supporting the channel, then please do feel free to do so, liking the video, subscribing, and of course, getting involved in the chat, the comments, whatever it may be. It really does mean the world to me, and I can't thank you guys enough. I really, really do appreciate the love and support. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Big up AR's in the building. My guy, how you doing, bro? Hope you're good. Hope you are good, my friend. We'll have to pop out for a little bit. We'll try to be back later. No problem, dude. Like I say, you're welcome anytime, and it's always good to chat with you, even if it is for a little bit. Really does mean the world your support, bro. So I can't thank you enough. Take care, my dude. Take care. Right. Let's quickly go through the teams then as we get closer and closer to kickoff. Here's the Manchester United team for you. Bayindir starts in goal ahead of Andre Onana, which is a big call by Ruben Amorim. Not that he's much better than Onana, but you get the point. Yoro, De Ligt and Shaw in a back three for United, with Dalot and Dorgu acting as wing-backs. Casemiro and Fernandes in the middle of the park, with Mbeumo on the right. And it seems as though it is going to be Mason Mount on the left, with Mateus Cunha leading the line. So the two debutants for Manchester United in Mbeumo and Mount making their debut. Benjamin Sesko is on the bench for the Red Devils today. And as for Arsenal, David Raya in goal, Ben White at right back, Calafiori is at left back today, which is an interesting call. William Saliba and Gabriel, the usual suspects in the heart of the Arsenal defence, Rice is partnering Zubimendi in midfield. Zubimendi, of course, making his Premier League debut today. Saka, Odegaard and Martinelli across the forward line with Gyökeres. Victor Gyökeres, the new shiny summer signing after that long drawn-out saga this summer, is in the squad, is in the starting 11 and is leading the attack for Arsenal today. We get a first look at Victor Gyökeres in the Premier League in an Arsenal shirt. What do we make of the teams? What do we make of the team news? I'm intrigued with this one because there's a more so for Man United, of course. We know kind of what to expect from Arsenal. It's going to be interesting to see how their new boys gel in. Zubimendi in that midfield and, of course, Victor Gyökeres leading the attack. You do feel like with Saka behind them as a safety net and with Declan Rice partnering Zubimendi to guide him through it, that it will probably be okay for Arsenal in that type of atmosphere. It's just going to be about whether or not they take their chances or not and don't sort of fall back into old habits of last season, you know, where at times Arsenal would go into games and they'd look very comfortable and then they'd sit back and then they would fall apart. And if they do that again this season, of course, that is going to absolutely bite them hard. But we shall see how that goes. But I'm more intrigued with, obviously, the side of United, of course, because United, the new players there, and Mbeumo and Cunha, they're Premier League proven. It's going to be interesting to see how they gel together in a newly formed attack. If Benjamin Sesko obviously joins them as the game goes on, it's going to be interesting to see how he works with them and how, obviously, he takes to the Premier League. But it's the midfield. It's the midfield that I'm looking at of Man United. Is that midfield strong enough? Is it disciplined enough? That is going to be the question today, especially. Rice, Zubimendi, and if you want to throw in Odegaard as well, Premier League proven, been together for a while, solid as a rock. I know Zubimendi is new, but at least you've got Rice there and you've got Odegaard. And Zubimendi, you know, he's no stranger to big games and obviously being in La Liga and obviously playing for his country of Spain. So there's a lot there for Zubimendi to take on board with, but Bruno Fernandes in a slightly deeper role. Bruno Fernandes alongside an aging Casemiro, who there have been some question marks over. I know he's improved a little bit under Ruben Amorim since Ruben Amorim came in, but there are still question marks over whether or not he is the guy to still be in that midfield for Man United. So for me, that midfield is going to be key. That midfield is going to be key. Is it going to be disciplined enough? Is it going to be strong enough? Are they going to be overrun in there? Are they going to be left exposed in there? Those are the kinds of questions that I'm looking at from, I guess, the perspective of Manchester United, I guess, in this situation. But the referee is just blown to start the game. We are underway here at Old Trafford. Manchester United taking on Arsenal. And it's already the first defensive clearance from Lenny Yoro to put it out for an Arsenal throw-in. Both team formations look defensive. I'd say Arsenal's is probably how we expected. I think Calafiori is going to be an interesting watch at left back. He doesn't exactly fill a lot of people with confidence defensively. I know he can often pop up with an unbelievable finish, and attacking wise, he's pretty decent. But defensively, he's got question marks here as Mbeumo advances forward, plays it down the line for Mount. And it's cleared by a recovering Ben White as United look to hit a break there. Zubimendi just caught a forearm in the face there from Mbeumo. I don't think it was intentional, but play was allowed to continue. But that's what they're going to be looking for as well, United. I think United's plan is to sit deep. So as much as you say that both teams look defensive, I think for Arsenal's point of view, it was probably the formation and style that I think we were expecting. As Mbeumo trying to steal one off Saliba there, and there was seemingly a bit of miscommunication between defender and goalkeeper there, which he was trying to capitalise on, but eventually the ball did run through to David Raya. So as much as both sides to you may look defensive, I think for Arsenal, we were expecting this one. I think from a Man United point of view, I think this is a defensive one. It's sit back and try and launch a counter-attack. Try and get Bruno Fernandes on the ball as quickly as possible for him to use his passing range to maybe free the likes of Cunha and Mbeumo with their pace and power. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting matchup here as United have got a throw-in. Jordan Hyman, big up to you, my bro. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Guys, go and subscribe to Jordan's channel. Doing absolutely brilliant stuff over there. Go and show some love and support to my bro. Interesting stuff. Did anyone see the Chelsea game earlier? Did anybody see the Chelsea game earlier with that 0-0 draw with Crystal Palace? Now, before I get onto the result, oh, should we save this for halftime? No, let's play some respect to the game. We'll talk about the Crystal Palace Chelsea game at halftime. We'll talk about it then. United enjoying some early possession here. I think being at home is going to help United as well. I think being at home is going to help them as well, as Ben White is penalised for a foul on the right-hand side of Arsenal, left-hand side of Man United. Fernandes with the free kick. Fernandes looks long with a free kick. Cleared away, though. It wasn't the best free kick. And Dorgu should get there to recover possession and does so by playing the ball back to Bender, who goes long, looking for Mason Mount or Brian Mbeumo. Headed away, though, by an Arsenal defender. And poor ball from Casemiro. And Arsenal can recover possession. It's going to be an interesting setup, this. I'm intrigued with this one. First bit of action for Gyökeres, and well recovered there by, I think that was Luke Shaw. Well recovered to stop the run of Gyökeres. It's going to be interesting to see Gyökeres in this. We know how mobile he is. We know how quick he is. It's just going to be very interesting to see if he is gelled with this Arsenal team yet. If this team understands his way of playing. Are they going to try and look for him very quickly? Is he going to have to drop deep to try and receive the ball and then spin off? Or how is it going to work? It's going to be interesting to see the kind of unity that Gyökeres has managed to pick up straight away. As they're looking for Brian Mbeumo here. It's Mbeumo. It's a shot on target, but it is straight at the goalkeeper, David Raya. But that is what United are looking for. United are looking for those early quick passes, incisive ones through the back line of Arsenal, and attempting to try and release both Cunha and or Mbeumo. And Mbeumo was first there. He was first in there. But unfortunately, just couldn't get enough power behind his strike. Foul by Zubamendi. Arsenal just needing time to settle in this game, it seems. They're not having it all their own way. Sorry, I'm just checking my bet. I need a Saka and Fernandes shot on target for 50 quid. So fingers crossed for that. And Bromo's got me a shot on target. I just need a Fernandes one and a Saka one, and we are all good. Big up, Nick. How are you doing? Well, bro. Lovely to have you on board with us this afternoon. United 2, Arsenal 3, or it could be very one-sided, just like Asmat Duplessis. I'm hoping there's goals. It would make it interesting if there was goals. I kind of want Gyökeres to score me some points on my fantasy team, but I don't at the same time want Arsenal to win. So I'm hoping there's going to be goals in this one, especially after the 3 Chelsea players that I've got in my team let me down earlier. I mean, Cucurella got me some clean sheet points at least, so it wasn't all bad, and I did have a pretty good day yesterday, fantasy football-wise for me anyway, so it was actually all right. But yeah, Gyökeres for me needs to get a couple of goals. Yeah, so I'm kind of hoping for that. Another Man United free kick here. I think Saliba is having a word with the referee. Yeah, goes straight into Dorgu, and it's a definite free kick. Big up, Deluded Steve. I hope you're doing well, bro. Lovely to have you on board with us. Love it that you're here. I hope you're doing well. Can't watch the game. I'm at the airport waiting for my connecting flight, so I'm listening to your live commentary. Very, very nice. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well, and I hope your flight is a safe one wherever you are going on this Sunday afternoon. Man United have got a corner here. Man United have a corner. Ben White putting the ball out of play. Strong start from United. 77% possession so far for the Red Devils in comparison to Arsenal's 23%. Started off really well, but, there's always that one moment, that one opportunity that Arsenal could just strike. Bruno Fernandes with the corner. Fernandes with the ball in, and it's well held and well commanded by David Raya, who rolls the ball out quickly, looking for Odegaard, who's looking long for Saka. Now, could Arsenal get some luck here? It's very well defended by Mason Mount, who brilliantly takes the ball off of Saka's toes. It's out of play for an Arsenal throw-in, but well defended from Mason Mount there as Arsenal look to try and hit Man United on the counter-attack. What do you think of the handball at Liverpool against Bournemouth? I'm completely stunned and surprised by how that was not given as a handball. And I also would have thought it was a definite red card as well. So VAR definitely should have got involved because he is the last man. He is the last man. And without that touch, Ekatike is through on goal. So therefore, to me, that does sort of count as a goal-scoring opportunity as the ball gets a bit of pinball in the penalty area and United end up managing to clear just about. But yeah, I'm still completely baffled by it. I'm still completely, not completely because I understand how poor the referees are in this league and how the poor usage of VAR is. But the first one, the one that bounces off his thigh and then onto his arm, I can sort of understand why that's not given. But the second one, he literally swipes at the ball. He swipes at the ball. It's a definite handball. And like I say, without the swipe, Ekatike is through on goal. Ekatike is through on goal. And again, I just don't understand why nothing was done about it, why they weren't getting involved. It completely baffled me. And I just know that in about a week or 2 or 3 or 4's time, there's going to be another incident like that in which the outcome is going to be completely different because the inconsistency of referees and VAR is just so poor. It's just so poor. And I think at half-time we're going to get onto the controversy at Chelsea versus Palace today, as Arsenal now are looking to get on the ascendancy, and it's a block-off delict and out for a Arsenal corner. We all know how dangerous Arsenal can be from corners. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. What did you think about it? Did you think it was a red card? Did you think that the referee in VAR should have got involved? Let me know what you think, bro. I want to draw Fledge, but I think Arsenal are going to claim all 3 points, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, bro. I'm completely with you on that one. I also think the same, to be honest. Here we go. As we usually see, Declan Rice on corners. Ball gets played in. It's 1-0 Arsenal. It's 1-0 Arsenal, and it's Calafiori. It's Calafiori on the score sheet, and that is shockingly bad goalkeeping. What is that from Bayendare? What is that? Man United have two terrible goalkeepers. You may as well put Rasmus Højlund in goal. At least he doesn't put things in the back of his own net. It's an in-swinging court. It's a dangerous delivery from Declan Rice, as you'd expect, because it always happens because he's just so good. And then Saliba's backing into the goalkeeper. He can't really get a hand on it because of Saliba, and he ends up he gets a hand onto it, but it's not a strong one at all. Poppadom hands. And it ends up just going towards the back post for the simplest of tap-ins from extremely close range from Calafiori. I don't know, man. I genuinely... That's... I don't know whether you want to say the goalkeeper should have been more authoritative there. I don't know if you want to say that it's possibly a foul on the goalkeeper. I don't think it is. I think the goalkeeper has to be more... I think he's got to be stronger in that situation. But, oh, Jesus Christ. But once again, it seems it's the same old story. Set piece FC, and the Arsenal set piece coach is definitely earning his money right now. But that is shocking from Bayendare, the Man United goalkeeper. Absolutely abysmal goalkeeping from him. You may as well have put Onana in goal. Yeah, may as well have put Onana in goal. It's ruined what has been a very good start from United. United actually did have a very good start to this game. And then in the past couple of minutes, Arsenal just started to get a bit more of a foothold. And then, like I say, one set piece, and it's all outdone. It's all outdone. Has he given a penalty? Oh, free kick. I thought he gave a penalty to United. Long ball over the top, and he's bundled him. It's because they both landed in the penalty area. Zubimendi foul on Fernandes. It starts outside the areas. Zubimendi bundles Fernandes over, and it's a free kick to United. Dangerous position this for United, so could be an interesting way to get back into the game. Fernandes and Buemo, Mount standing over the free kick. I hope they give it to Fernandes for a shot on target. That'd be great, because then I'm 2 of the 3 up. These refs and people using VAR are a joke. More issues we'll have in the Premier League and Champions League. I agree. They've had all summer to kind of iron out these problems, and yet they've just gone, no, yet last season was perfect. Let's just do more of the same again this year. It's not good enough. There needs to be drastic improvement. And so far, probably not. Fernandez goes for it. It's off the wall and away. Pour that from Bruno. I couldn't agree more, did Steve? I couldn't agree more. Liverpool also need to improve in crosses, corners, and free kicks. Yeah, I agree. We have so many set pieces, and we don't really make many of them count. We very rarely make them count. We only seem to really make them count when, barring obviously one or two exceptions, we only seem to really make them count when we're like already 4-0 up. And then we go, score a fifth from a corner. Luke Shaw goes flying in, commits a foul on Odegaard, and is getting a talking to from the referee. Yeah, poor challenge. Late challenge from Odegaard, and Arsenal now have a free kick. Another set piece for Arsenal to potentially double their lead from this position. There goes my 0-0. Always risky betting on a 0-0. Always risky going for a 0-0. Loyalty doesn't mean much in football. The football club and sell players. If Isak wants to leave, let him and take the money. You can't keep an unhappy player in your roster. Newcastle fans getting angry at Liverpool. Angry at Liverpool and Isak. Yeah, I said this on a live stream, didn't I? Loyalty goes both ways. You only want the player to show loyalty when he's a really, really good player. Otherwise, if he wasn't a good player, you wouldn't care as much, as the ball goes in from Rice, but Bayende this time manages to keep hold of the ball. But yeah, loyalty does work both ways. If Isak wasn't that great of a player, Newcastle would not mind at all him leaving. But because he's one of the world's best, like all of a sudden it's, you have a contract, you have an obligation to fill it out. It's like, okay, that may be true, and I've said on a number of occasions that Isak is an idiot for not putting in a release clause while signing a very long-term contract. But at the same time, like, loyalty does work both ways, and you know, it's a difficult one because a footballer's career is not that long. So whilst I feel sorry for Newcastle fans in a way, and I feel sorry for Newcastle in a way, like I say, a footballer's career is not that long. And, you know, it's on Isak a little bit, like I say, for not being adamant on putting in a release clause or signing a long-term deal as much as he did. So I see it from both angles. Like I say, loyalty is very strange in football. We demand it from the best, but from other players, we don't. And the hypocrisy stinks because, as I said earlier, if it's benefiting your club, it's fine. If it's not benefiting your club, you hate it. So everybody in Newcastle right now is absolutely hating Isak for what he's doing. But at the same time, they had no problem when it came to Anthony Gordon at Everton doing the same thing. They had no problem with Johan Visser, currently at Brentford, for doing the same thing. The hypocrisy stinks. The hypocrisy does stink. No one is really calling it out for other teams as long as it's benefiting your own team. And it goes for Liverpool fans as well. You know, we've had it before with... Trent being the main one and Raheem Sterling a little bit and whoever else. But it's far from perfect. It's far from a perfect situation. And the quicker this gets resolved, I think the quicker everybody's happy. I think, as I said before, I think Isak does go to Liverpool. I think that Newcastle are trying to hold on as best they can to let the deal go through after next Monday's Liverpool versus Newcastle game, which is going to be incredibly feisty. I can't wait for that one. And also I'm a little bit scared because some of our players may get brutally attacked. But I think Newcastle are trying to hold off the deal as much as possible. I think Brentford now managing to secure the signing of is it Altara? I think that's how you pronounce his name, from Bournemouth, now may speed up things in terms of Johan Visser leaving. So I wouldn't be surprised if at some point this week Newcastle and Brentford agree on a fee for Johan Visser, which will then open the door to Isak leaving. And then we can finally put this entire saga to bed. But yeah, I didn't really want to talk about it in this game because obviously I wanted to keep it Man United Arsenal, but we talked about it, and like I say, I do appreciate the chat and the question, so it's all good, man. It's all good. Fletch, honest question: do you think Van Dijk has lost a yard of pace? Hard to tell pre-season. Obviously, there's a bit of rustiness from everybody, so it's hard to tell pre-season. But it would be natural slightly with his decline, but he keeps himself. Oh, David Raya's in trouble. He just about gets away with it. He tried to be too clever and cocky with it. He just about gets away with it in the Arsenal goal. He tried a fancy turn on, I think it was Mount he tried to turn. I couldn't quite see, but just about got away with it. Ball over the top looking for Dalot, headed away by Gabriel. Martinelli and Gabriel can clear. So yeah, hard to tell so far in pre-season, but it would be somewhat natural. But let's face it, Van Dijk's been performing at such a monster of a level these past several years that him losing a bit of a step would still mean he is a top quality defender because he's still head and shoulders above the rest. So we shall see. We're blinded by our support for our own clubs. Every fan base guilty of double standards. Well said. Yeah, I mean, we all are. We all are. As football fans, it's somewhat in our nature to be hypocrites, some more so than others. I try and keep it as real and as honest. Very good interception there from Casemiro, and he plays in a lovely ball to Mbeumo down the right. It's 2v2 here for United. And Mbeumo goes on his left foot, tries to drag it to the near post. It goes wide. Might have been deflected, though, and I think it is going to be a Man United corner. Yeah, it's in football fans' nature to be somewhat hypocritical. And, you know, some are more so than others. I try and keep it as real as I can. I try and keep it as honest as I can. I try and be neutral, objective. I try and see it from all different angles whenever I talk about certain subjects. And I'm not, and there may be some hidden biases in some of the things that I say, but it's somewhat only natural for that to happen. But I'll always try and be fair, especially if I am talking about Liverpool, that I will attempt. I won't just be completely blinded and have rose-tinted glasses for my love for Liverpool Football Club. I will try and be like, okay, is there a possibility that this situation is not good for Liverpool? And can I call out the owners here? Are they perfect? Is the performances of Mo Salah always perfect? Or whatever it may be. Like, I'll just try and be as fair. And the same can be said when I'm talking about rivals. I'm not going to sit here and say that everything that United do, Arsenal do, City do, is terrible just because they're doing it. I'll try and be fair. Like, for example, I love the signing of Victor Gyökeres for Arsenal. And the way that is because I didn't want them to make the signing, as Martinelli passes back to Bayender there. Poor shot from him. But as I say, I'll try and be honest about it. I'll try and be neutral. Referee just having a word with Gyökeres there. Not 100% sure what's going on. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say everything is bad or everything's good. I'm just going to give my honest opinion on it. As I say, the signing of Gyökeres is brilliant for Arsenal and not so brilliant for rival fans. But at the same time, I don't understand the signing of Noni Madueke, especially when Eberechi Eze was sat there for going for a release clause of about 67 million or whatever it was. So try and be as fair and as balanced as we can here. Liverpool need to set the quick tempo in games. I don't want to see Szoboszlai, McAllister, Jones together. They are all number 8. Yeah, we definitely have missed Gravenberch these past couple of games. I feel like in some games it can work. You know, if you're playing against a Burnley, for example, I feel like a midfield of like Szoboszlai and McAllister, or Szoboszlai, Jones, McAllister, Jones. I feel like that can work against a team that is very quick on the transition, difficult to play against, like a Palace, like a Bournemouth, like a Brighton. It probably won't work as much. Oh, nice ball by Mount. Dorgu's got some space over on this left-hand side here. Now, what can he do? He's a bit isolated, though. He's going for it, though. He's managed to find some space and work the ball well to Bruno Fernandes, who spreads the ball out wide to Mbeumo. Mbeumo on that left foot, looking for a cross, looking for Dorgu. Headed away, though, by Ben White. And now it's a battle between Fernandes and Saka. Fernandes trying to get the best of him, and Saka does well to hold him off and keep possession for Arsenal. I'm not going to lie, my bets are not looking great. Not looking great, but we move. I forgot Gabriel Heinz was an Arsenal coach. Obviously back at United. Completely forgot he was a coach. Nice play by United here. Here's Dorgu. Dog on the left. He strikes it low. Oh, it's hit the post. It's hit the post. Patrick Dorgu just driving forward. Arsenal lose the ball when it's a quick ball out wide to Dorgu, who's in all kinds of space on that left-hand side. And he's running at Saliba. And he's not close to him at all. And he's just inviting Dorgu to hit it. And he does. And it just hits the base of the post. So unlucky from Dorgu, but again, a warning sign of Arsenal that they're not going to have it all their own way here, and that 1-goal lead is not exactly as stable as maybe what they are normally is what they're hoping for. So unlucky from Patrick Dorgu in that situation. United are threatening here. United are definitely threatening here, and Arsenal need to be wary as Dalot goes around the outside of Mbeumo, cuts the ball back, dealt with by Arsenal, but it should be a United throw-in, and it is. Arsenal, Man United are asking some questions of Arsenal here, and every time on the transition, it's 1 or 2 passes and they're in, or at least they've got an opportunity to be in on goal. They just need a little bit something more, and I think there's probably a certain striker on the bench in Benjamin Sesko that may provide, at least from a positional sense, something that could cause some more food for thought for Arsenal as the game wears on. What do we think will happen with Harvey? I think he may stay. I don't know with Elliot. For the better of his career, and obviously with this being a World Cup year as well, he needs to go. As much as I hate to say it, if his goal is to try and be involved in that England team as Martinelli goes for the spectacular and he just misses it. He missed the ball there. He missed the ball. Oh! Cunha's through! It's a shot on target, but it's straight at the goalkeeper. He just bundled his way through Cunha there and hit a shot on goal. It was on target, but it was straight at David Raya, unfortunately for him. But this is a very entertaining game. It's got to be said. There's a lot of opportunities, a lot of chances being created. It's very interesting so far. But yeah, as I was saying with Elliott, for if he wants to be at least in contention of getting on the plane next year to the World Cup, he probably will have to leave. But I like him, and I wish that obviously he would stay. I wish he'd fight for his place. I feel like he offers us something that we don't necessarily have too much of in midfield in terms of creativity and a want for the ball. I know we've got Florian Wirtz now and everything, but I think consistency-wise, in terms of having a backup creative outlet in that midfield, I think Harvey Elliott ticks that box. But there's just something that Arne Slot doesn't necessarily rate about him, whether it's his physicality. Lovely little layoff there from Mbeumo, and he goes for it. Cunha from distance, but again, it's straight at the goalkeeper. It's straight at David Raya. That's been the only problem with Man United so far. Created chances, but the end product has not been good enough, unfortunately. But yeah, Harvey Elliott, I like him a lot. I want him to stay at Liverpool just to provide that depth in midfield. But I would completely understand if he wants to go. For game time, for trying to get onto that plane for the World Cup, I completely understand. And here's the thing as well. I think no matter where he goes, he is going to be a very good asset for whichever team buys him. I can't honestly say that he would be a bad signing for anyone. I think he'd do a good job for at least a vast majority of teams anyway. So we shall see. We shall see. Here's Odegaard. Odegaard strikes one from distance, but it's straight at Bender. And even though he's not exactly the most reliable of goalkeepers, he does hold on to this one. 10 minutes to go before half-time. It's still 1-0 to Arsenal, thanks to a 13th-minute goal from Calafiori, the most simplest of finishers from extremely close range after a Declan Rice corner caused the goalkeeper all sorts of problems. But United have definitely had their chances. Brian Mbeumo a couple of times straight at the goalkeeper. Matheus Cunha a couple of times straight at the goalkeeper, and Patrick Dorgu striking the post from distance have all caused Arsenal some food for thought here. But so far to no avail for Man United. But a lot to be positive about from United's point of view, I'd say. I'd say there's a lot to be positive about for United. They may not be winning, but there is at least a sense of optimism that if they can just get a new goalkeeper, I mean, surely any goalkeeper is better than the two that they have. Right? Even if, then again, that might be a bit of a stretch. I was going to say even Robert Sanchez for Chelsea, but that may actually be a bit of a stretch. But if they just went out and got a proper goalkeeper, Nick Pope from Newcastle, maybe. Emi Martinez from Aston Villa, just go out there and get the deal done. Interesting. Interesting and indeed. Harvey is just missing that extra pace and athleticism flex, but skill-wise, he's a top-notch player. I agree. I think there is a bit of skill. There's a lot of skill to his game. I think like there's a lot of creativity. There's this arrogance, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It comes with like confidence that even when his team are not playing very well and the team aren't exactly performing, he doesn't shy away. He wants to go for the ball every time. He wants to actually be on the ball to try and drag his team through. I like that kind of characteristic from a player, especially from a player in his position. Right across the face of goal. Right across the face of goal from Cunha. He does brilliantly well to turn away from the defender. And he just puts it right across the face of goal. And so close by Man United again there. Another good opportunity as Fernandes takes aim, but it's blocked. Ball is still not cleared away. Eventually, Arsenal do manage to get it away. And Lenny Yoro gives away a free kick for a foul on Gyökeres, and he looks like he might be receiving a yellow card there. But Jesus Christ, Cunha again just turns away from Declan Rice, and it may have actually just come off the glove of David Raya to divert it away from the goal. Again, United creating another opportunity. Arsenal's defence not completely all there. Not completely all there. So far, that United have got a lot of room for encouragement in this game. A lot of room for encouragement as far as what United are concerned, but they're just not there yet. Just not there yet. What was I saying about Harvey? Harvey Elliott. Yeah, I think he just lacks a bit of pace. I think he lacks a bit of physical presence. But other than that, I genuinely can't fault him. And like I said, that's why I think that for any team that comes in and attempts to buy him, he benefits that team greatly. He really, really does. If you can just put a bit of pace around him, he definitely could complement that kind of team. I say, which is why I'm a little bit surprised. Like, you know what? Like, in saying that, it's why I'm a little bit surprised that Tottenham hadn't come in for him beforehand. But you know who I think really could use him and use him really, really well? Crystal Palace. If Palace do sell Eze as there's another corner for Arsenal, so strap yourselves in, another corner for Arsenal. Yeah, if Palace do sell Eze, I do wonder if they'll go in for Harvey Elliott. Because they play with two number 10s. Elliott could really perform well there. Drifts out to the right, drifts through the centre, drops deep, all of that kind of stuff. Saka crosses, poor delivery. Could they still make something of it? It does fall to Odegaard, strikes it, blocked. Struck again by Ben White, and that is pretty much near the corner flag from the right back. But yeah, I think that if I had to make a prediction, I think Crystal Palace come in for him. I think once the Eze situation gets sorted, I think Eze probably does go to Tottenham now, unless Arsenal can do something in terms of sell a player, which is a lot to ask. But I think probably Crystal Palace. And Crystal Palace haven't done anything in this January transfer window yet. So that's a foul from Calafiori, surely, and a yellow card. Yep, yellow card for Calafiori, which means that I am a Dorgu yellow card away from winning 30 quid. Nice. Looking good so far, my bets. Sort of. Not that one. Not that one. That was terrible. But still looking for a Saka and Fernandes shot on target for 50 quid. And yeah, either one. But yeah, I personally think he might go Crystal Palace. I've got a sneaky feeling Palace will come in for him once this as a situation resolves. And I think it'll be a very good move for Palace and a very good move for him. And Dorgu with a cross. No one's in the box for United. I think Sesko is definitely needed at half-time. They're just lacking presence in the middle. Like Cunha's doing a great job, but Cunha's everywhere sometimes, but where he needs to be. But yeah, Harvey Elliott, great player, and would kill it wherever he goes. Who's been man of the match so far in this first half? I mean, Arsenal are leading, but I don't. It's hard to say an Arsenal player that's actually been outstanding. Like United have been the better side as Mount turns, swivels, strikes, blocked, cleared away by Arsenal's defence. Like United are all over them. United are all over them. Dorgu's been very lively on the left-hand side. Fernandes and Casemiro have actually worked pretty well in midfield. It's just like I say, the level of finishing just hasn't quite been there. And Buemo's been lively. Cunha's been solid. I wouldn't say there's anybody that's been stand out for United, but I wouldn't say that there's been nobody playing poor from United as well, apart from the goalkeeper. I'd say that the only poor performance from United has been the goalkeeper for obviously letting in a very stupid goal. Ball gets switched over to Mbeumo. Nice control, and now he can stand up. A yellow card, or Gabriel Martinelli goes out on his right foot cross. It's just over hit, but Mount tries to keep it in, and it only finds its way into the hands of David Raya. Half-time is approaching. We're just about to find out how much added on time, how much injury time is going to be played. A little bit frustrating from United. Like I say, they have probably been the better side. They've done some really good stuff. They performed very, very well so far. It's just they've not had that little bit of luck in front of goal yet. Like I say, Dorgu's hit the post. Raya's been forced into a couple of easy saves. He also made a smart save from Cunha not long ago. One extra minute of added on time here. Arsenal just trying to take the sting out of the game a little bit. But here's Odegaard looking for the run of Gyökeres. Now, what can Gyökeres do here? He's got a couple arriving in the penalty area. He goes for the cross. It's way over hit. And the ball goes out for a throw-in. Harvey would kill it for Brighton after Adam Lallana retired. Brighton is another team he'd be very good at. No doubt about it. There's absolutely no doubt about it in my mind as well. I agree with that. Brighton would be a good team for him to go to. I mean, Brighton, like I said, I just think that Palace, with the position that they have somewhat open, would be an ideal opportunity. I think Palace with the position that would be open to them would be the ideal opportunity. And not only that, but just a straight swap deal. Somewhat of a straight swap deal. They give us 10 million and Mark Gahey, and they get Harvey Elliott. Sounds like a win-win. Half time. Arsenal going 1-0 up thanks to a goal from Riccardo Calafiori. Riccardo Calafiori with the only goal of the game so far. Somewhat against the run of play, I guess you would say. A massive mistake from the Manchester United goalkeeper that helped in the making of that goal. A Declan Rice dangerous corner wasn't dealt with by the goalkeeper, and he basically poppadom hands it straight into the path of Calafiori, who from about a yard out was never going to miss in putting Arsenal in front. It's just the only problem with United has been a lack of clinical edge up front. And I think that it's possible that Benjamin Sesko coming on may change that. A lack of a number 9. Slight lack of creativity as well, I guess you could say. Maybe Fernandes has been too deep at times. Maybe you could argue. But I say, there's certainly stuff there to be at least optimistic about for United. It's not all doom and gloom. It's just, again, a problem that we all know, even from the outside looking in. We all know that United's situation with the goalkeepers isn't the best. I'm surprised that they've not dealt with that issue, because it is obviously a very obvious issue, but they've decided for whatever reason not to deal with it. But like I say, it's a problem. It is most certainly a problem. But there you have it. Bayindir is in goal, and their only alternative is Andre Onana, who is, well, Onana. So, is what it is. Did anyone see the Crystal Palace-Chelsea game earlier? Did anybody see the Crystal Palace-Chelsea game earlier? And if so, what do we make of the disallowed goal? What do we make of the disallowed goal that took place today between Crystal Palace and Chelsea, in which Eberechi Eze absolutely thunderbolted in a free kick, only to be ruled out because of a technicality from the official Premier League rulebook that stated that an opposition player can't be involved in a wall of 3 of around of 1 yard out. I will say this in defense of the referees and VAR. It is a rule. They have followed the correct procedure. They've followed the correct protocol, and they've actually followed the rules. And on some level, it is a correct decision. But I still have an grievance with it, because although it is technically right, it's so harsh on Palace. It is very, very harsh on Crystal Palace that they've done that. Very, very harsh on Palace that they have done that. Oh my God, they're actually doing the halftime interview with players. Martin Odegaard is there being interviewed by Sky Sports right now, as a halftime interview. Oh my God. It's just, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Sorry to go off topic of what I was talking about, but I absolutely despise this. I absolutely despise this over dramatization of it by having this. I would much rather see Roy Keane moan, Micah Richards laugh his head off, and whoever else they've got in the studio, Daniel Sturridge, just dance at halftime. Jesus Christ. Anyway, as I was saying, on a technicality level, I get why it's been given. My only grievance with it is that, well, I've got two grievances. The first one is, are they consistent with that ruling? Because it's one thing to give it here, but have there been incidents in the past where there's been goals given for that kind of thing? So that's what I want to know first and foremost. I'm not saying there has been, and I'm not saying there hasn't been, but I would like to know if there is proper consistency when it comes to that ruling being delivered and being issued in these kind of moments and situations, right? And secondly, if you look at the goal, the way that Robert Sanchez has set up his wall, he's looking at it as he's going to try and maybe kind of curl it into the opposite corner. He's not and so he decides to position himself in a way that if he does go towards what would be the far post in that situation, the goalkeeper's there to deal with it. Now, Robert Sanchez, being Robert Sanchez, of course, doesn't deal with it. It's a fantastic strike from Eze, no doubt about it, but it literally goes through the guy. It literally goes through the goalkeeper. And he is the luckiest man on the planet that not only do Chelsea go on and at least get something from the game in terms of a point, but he's again not embarrassed by another poor error from him. Still has a goalkeeping problem to Chelsea, a problem that they should have resolved again this summer, similarly to Manchester United, but they haven't. If you look at the goal, Guehi's positioning starts well outside of the sort of area, I guess, that you can't go into when the wall is positioned. That's fine. Obviously, before the ball is taken, Guehi moves, and he moves closer to the wall to kind of block out any potential block from a Chelsea defender, allowing the space to open up so that Eze can fire it through that space and into the back of the net. My problem is that the wall in that situation is nowhere near where the ball has been struck. The wall is nowhere near the space that has been left by Mark Guehi for the ball to travel. That's my problem and grievance with it. If you wanted to say it's a block and a foul on, I can't remember who Guehi was blocking, then I could at least say you may have a bit of an argument there. But the wall is nowhere near the space that Eze's fired it through. It's on the other side. The wall is on the other side to where Eze's fired it at. So, to me, it is a technicality which they've got right, but it also doesn't make any sense to me because the wall in that situation, unless they've mastered the art of teleportation, are not going to block that ball. No matter who is in the way, no matter how far away they are, they're not going to get that ball anyway. So it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter. Look, obviously, go and find it. I'm sure it's doing the rounds on socials, and I'm sure it is online on YouTube and things like that. So go and find it for yourselves, and then come back and tell me what you guys think. But I think as much as what the referees have done in terms of implement the rules, I do think that maybe in certain situations there needs to be a bit of common sense delivered, and I do kind of think that in that situation the common sense would be to allow the goal to stand, because Robert Sanchez has set the wall up on the other side of the penalty area, and Eze has fired it into a space in which the wall is not there. The wall is not there to block. The wall is not there to defend. There's no possible way that they could defend that ball because it's too far out of their reach, regardless of whether Gahey is in the vicinity of the wall or not. So I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there as my kind of grievance with it. I can understand why it was taken away from Palace, but at the same time, I'm also questioning why that was. I thought overall the game was not the most thrilling. Not the most thrilling. I think I got a little bit too suckered in maybe early on with how well Chelsea had been pre-season and how good João Pedro was. So I'm kind of a little bit annoyed by that. I feel like Chelsea got very fortunate to obviously not have lost the game, but they just didn't do anything. Chelsea, did they? They really didn't do anything. The creativity was lacking. João Pedro and Liam Delap both had scraps to feed off of and nothing proper. It was a frustrating game for Chelsea, and I'm not writing them off this early. I still think they've got a decent squad which can mount a title challenge this year. Nothing proper, nothing too serious in terms of them winning it, but I think it is a case of they've got a decent enough squad to mount something like a title challenge this year. But at the same time, there are still some issues there. The goalkeeper is an issue. Cole Palmer, I think, is a slight issue. If he's not firing on all cylinders, Chelsea look a little lost in terms of creativity. And I don't know if this is genuinely true, but someone posted earlier that allegedly it's now been 8 months since Cole Palmer last scored a goal in the Premier League from open play. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know if it's genuine or not, but if it is, I'm just saying that Chelsea fans may need to just calm down a little bit on this whole Cole Palmer's this, Cole Palmer's that, Cole Palmer's this. I know he's a big game player, but you also need to turn up in these types of games as well. And he hasn't so far. So, the same. But, yeah, I'm not ruling out Chelsea by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not saying it's obviously not a great result by the Blues in this situation. Obviously, don't get me wrong, but I would argue that definitely some work to do in the training ground. Does the signings of Xavi Simons and Garnacho potentially solve that issue? Probably not. But there's also the goalkeeping situation, which they need to work on as well. So I'll just leave it at that for now. But if you guys obviously have anything you want to say about the whole Chelsea situation, do feel free to hit up the chat. As for Crystal Palace, I thought they were very, very good. Solid, fair play and respect to the likes of Mark Gahey and Eze for having all this speculation surrounding them, still going out onto the pitch, playing and performing consistently. Hoping that we obviously see Gahey in a Liverpool shirt in the not too distant future. And fair play to both men. They actually performed very well today. It's just unfortunate that Eze may have played his final game for Palace, and it would have been a nice kind of way to leave it on by getting that goal, scoring an absolute cracker of a goal, and obviously potentially giving them the 3 points as well. It's a little unfortunate that that wasn't the case, but yeah, technicalities, annoying sometimes as the second half gets underway between United and Arsenal. Arsenal are coming forward here with Martinelli. Tried to slip the ball through to Declan Rice, cleared away by the United defence, and it will be recycled again by Arsenal as Zubimendi is now on the ball. I didn't see it, but I heard there was some controversy. Yeah, like I say, bro, go and find it. Go on social media, go and find the free kick goal by Eze. Like I say, it's a brilliantly well taken goal from Eze, who just absolutely decides to just put his foot through it. Mad respect for the goal. It's just, like I say, I think it's just somewhat unfortunate that the goal was ruled out for a technicality of a rule that I don't necessarily think should have been applied in the situation given the context of the free kick, which I think needs to be addressed because, like I said, the wall is not getting to that free kick unless it's on the other side of the box. If it's on the other side of the box, by all means, they get the block on it, but they're nowhere near it. And it doesn't matter whether Gahey is in the vicinity or not. They're still not getting anywhere near it. Need some shots on target, and I need a Dorgu yellow card. That'd be great. Here's Mount. Down the line for Dorgu. Tries to cut back. Well defended by Zubimendi and cleared away only as far as Luke Shaw, who... Oh, it's going to actually be a throw-in to United. Didn't realize it went out. Played out wide. Dorgu again. Dorgu's just that free guy. Dorgu is just the constant free outlet, the free ball on that left-hand side. Nice little bit of play between Dorgu and Shaw. It's struck by Mount. It's blocked and it's out of play for a goal kick. But nice little bit of interchange there between Dorgu and Luke Shaw down the left-hand side. And Shaw's cutback did manage to find... They managed to find Mount. As the bench, as the camera pans over there towards the bench, and a certain Kai Havertz is potentially looking at maybe getting on the pitch at some point. Make sure gets it away. And as far as Saliba, his header is up in the air. And eventually it does fall to Declan Rice. 5 minutes into the second half, still 1-0 to Arsenal. Ricardo Calafiori's goal so far being the difference maker. It's not through lack of trying that United are behind. They are definitely they're definitely still in this. 100% they are still in this. Casemiro out wide to Dallo. Now Brian Mbeumo. To stand up Zubimendi. Why haven't utilised down the right hand side a bit more often, United, especially with Calafiori being on a yellow card, and we all know how much he likes to dive into a challenge. Would have thought they would have tried to utilise that right hand side a little bit more, but so far not the case. Casemiro tries a flick, but the ball falls to Odegaard, and he puts a through ball through for Gyökeres. Now, what can he do here? Tries to get it onto his right foot. He just steps on the ball, and it allows the United defenders to get back, and the man is penalised for a foul. It will be a free kick to Man United. Not had it all his own way so far, Gyökeres. Not had it all his own way so far. He's had a couple of moments like that where the ball's been played down the side of the defence, but United have quickly crowded him out. Which has been decent defending and recovery from United, but not ideal for Arsenal as they look to try and kill this game off. And there goes long. Foul by the defender on Cunha, and Man United will get a free kick on the halfway line after Gabriel is penalised. Free kick taken short and blocked by Gabriel Martinelli. Gyökeres, nice little bit of physical play, but the ball gets cut out. But the ball will eventually run through to Gabriel, and between him and Calafiori, they somewhat get rid. But it's a slice clearance from Calafiori, and it falls to Fernandes. And United have got the ball in a very advanced and decent position here. Here's Mbeumo on the right-hand side. Lovely little ball inside to Fernandes. It's just a little bit too long for the Portuguese international, who goes sliding in, and it's a foul on Gabriel. And is it going to get booked here? I think the referee is going to take a bit of a lenient approach on the United captain. Don't think he's been booked, but it was a nice little bit of play from United. Nice bit of pressing into forcing a mistake, and yeah, he's gone sliding in there. It's not a terrible challenge by any stretch of the imagination. It's just a little late. And Mbeumo's ball, to be fair, wasn't the best. Foul there again. I think from Zubimendi on Casemiro this time. Oh, no, sorry. This time it was Rice on Casemiro. United are going to make him a change here. It looks like Amad Diallo, his time has come. I wonder who he's going to come on for. I wonder what the plan is for United here. It is going to be for Diogo Dallo. So straight swap at right wing back for United. Amad Diallo on, and Diogo Dallo is the man who is making way. Injection of pace down that right hand side, and like I said just a moment or two ago, you wouldn't be surprised now if they do try and utilize that right wing position a bit more especially given the fact that Calafiori is on a yellow card. So it's an interesting one as Bruno Fernandes tries to play through for Mbeumo. He's just not quick enough, but it might have been a foul in the build-up, but referee allows play to go on. It's a nice idea from Bruno Fernandes that Mbeumo just did not have the pace just to catch up with the ball a little bit there. But there's still, again, possibility for United here to break free. Here's Cunha battling with William Saliba down by the corner flag. He goes over, and Man United win a free kick in a very decent position here. Good work that from United. Good work that from everybody involved. I mean, it started off from Bayandier's ball out to Fernandes. Not exactly an intended ball, I don't think, but it worked in their favour. And again, it was decent defending by Gabriel to kind of halt the run of Bryan Mbeumo a little bit and to kind of stagnate him. But eventually, the ball worked out to the left-hand side where Cunha managed to win a foul from Saliba. And now Fernandes has got a decent opportunity here to swing one in from the left-hand side. It's Fernandes' delivery. It's dangerous in there, right underneath the goalkeeper. Unlike Bayendier, Raya manages to get a decent hand to it. The ball comes out to Amad Diallo here. He's looking for the overrun of Dorgu. Back to Diallo. And Mbeumo, Dorgu. It's the problem when you've got three left-footed players on that right-hand side. They don't want to really put it in with their right foot. Here is Fernandes. Back to Dorgu. Crosses it in deep. It goes right to the back and it goes out of play for a corner. Fernandes there is begging for the ball to be played in a bit quicker and a bit earlier. In that situation, but it was a very good punch away from David Raya. Like I say, unlike Bayendier in the first half, David Raya gets a good fist on the ball in that situation. Saka and Mikel Arteta want a foul on Saka there, but nothing doing. Arteta sees the funny side of it, shaking hands with Luke Shaw. Just reaching the hour mark almost here. Still 1-0 to Arsenal. It's going to be interesting to see how Mikel Arteta approaches this one in terms of either trying to kill the game off or trying to protect what they have. And as for United, how are they going to approach this one? Again, De Ligt was a good show of strength there to just brush Saka off the ball. Saka's not happy. He feels like he was fouled, nothing doing. And I think, in all honesty, rightfully so. And Mbeumo now down the right-hand side. It's got Diallo. He thought Diallo was making the run and Diallo stopped. Noni Madueke, the Premier League debut of the new Arsenal man, is going to be making his way onto the pitch very, very shortly, it seems. Noni Madueke. Here's Saka now, looking to go alone. Ball gets deflected out to Gabriel Martinelli, and the ball goes back to Declan Rice, and he fires over the crossbar. So is it a straight swap on that left-hand side? Martinelli off and Madueke on. Kai Havertz is also going to be coming on, and Gyökeres is off. It's not been the best of Premier League debuts for Arsenal for Gyökeres. Not been the best. A little disappointing in all honesty. But I think, like I say, I think you can maybe make a bit of an excuse that he didn't really have much of a pre-season. He's still building up his match fitness. So I would probably argue that may be the case with Gyökeres. It may take some time. But at the same time, the guy's in my fantasy team. He's done absolutely nothing for me. So I dislike him already. But Madueke is also on. And it was Martinelli off. So you would imagine Madueke is going to be on that left-hand side. And obviously Kai Havertz is taking up the striker position. They're just lacking a bit of intensity at the moment, United. Not as much as what they had. Not as much as they had in the first half anyway. They've still got their moments. They've still got a little bit of sort of good play here and there in between, but they just need a little bit more. I wonder how long it will be before we see their own deputising striker in Benjamin Sesko. Havertz with a foul, and it will be a United free kick, which will take short and quick. Here's Diallo. Back to Fernandes. Cross to Mason Mount, and down the left-hand side for Luke Shaw. Mount. Cleared away. Havertz now looking to try and break. United get some defenders back, and don't know whether the ball should have been played there early enough, but brilliant challenge from De Ligt, and Cunha can now escape with the ball. Tries to go down the left-hand wing with Dorgu. It goes out of play for a throw-in. And United are going to make a sub, but it's going... Oh, there was actually two subs. It looks like Ugarte, and I think it might be Benjamin Sesko. But before that happens, Arsenal are on the attack with Bukayo Saka. Goes down the outside, puts in a cross, and it's dealt with by United. Stabbed away clear. Lovely little ball on the outside of the right foot. Mason Mount with some space to move into. Looks across the pitch for Mbeumo, but the ball is not good enough, and Calafiori actually does well there to nod it back to the goalkeeper and keep possession for Arsenal. Yeah, they're just lacking that bit of intensity now, United. There's just Arsenal just done very well to take the sting out of the game, control it a little bit more. There is still something in this for United, but they need to quicken the tempo up a little bit. Maybe the arrival of Ugarte might help with that. Maybe they might push Bruno Fernandes a little bit more forward. And maybe with the inclusion of Sesko might add some presence in that attacking lineup as the ball is pulled back to Havertz and his strike is blocked and out for a throw-in. Casemiro is off. Casemiro is off, and Ugarte is on, and Mason Mount is off, and Benjamin Sesko is on. So here we go then. Let's see what Benjamin Sesko has got in his locker here. He's got 25 minutes plus any injury time to make an impact on his Manchester United debut here. I kind of want Sesko to score, you know. Here's the thing. I don't rate Sesko. Don't rate him. I think he's overrated. I don't think he's like a terrible footballer by any stretch, or a terrible player, should I say, by any stretch of the imagination. I just don't think he's as hyped or should be as hyped as what a lot of people are claiming. I don't think he's as good as what a lot of people are claiming. I think he's somewhat overrated, overhyped and stuff. But at the same time, because of the whole Arsenal debating whether to go for Sesko or Gyökeres all summer and tossing that up and debating it, it would be absolutely hilarious if Benjamin Sesko was to either score 2 goals here to help United win or just grab the equaliser. I just find that hilarious. And I really, really want that to happen. One of those 2 scenarios to happen, because it would just be funny. It would just be very, very funny to me. Calafiori's throw-in. Going down the line, looking for Havertz. Dealt with by the Man United defence. Cleared down the line by De Ligt. Saliba. And Fernandes can bring it under his control and look to recycle possession for United. Like I say, just under 25 minutes to go before the end of normal time. And then depending on how much extra time there is, we shall see. But United are still trailing. Good recovery by Diallo. Nice little reverse ball for Mbeumo. Diallo's down the line. Lovely little turn. Now, what can he do here? Mbeumo's looking for the cut back. It's tried to be cut back, but cleared away by Zubamendi and then cleared away by Kai Havertz. United will come again, though, here. Luke Shaw on the halfway line. Bruno Fernandes dropping deep to receive the ball. Mbeumo, Yoro, Diallo. Trying to be patient here, United, but time is a ticking. Short. Cunha. Nice ball in play inside for Dorgu, but well cut out by Saliba. Madueke runs, wins a free kick. Free kick on the halfway line for Arsenal. Bruno Fernandes, as you probably would guess, not happy. Ball goes all the way through to Ben there. Thing is now for United as well, with them having Sesko on, they've at least got a bit of a target man. So just go a bit longer. Just go a bit longer. Just go a bit more direct. Just go a bit more. That was a lovely turn there by Cunha. Lovely little turn, and he's driving forward, and he plays the ball through for Mbeumo. He just gets it a little bit tangled under his feet. Diallo's there. It's cleared away. Arsenal survive again. But what a little turn there from Cunha, driving forward with real pace and purpose. And it was an acrobatic effort from Mbeumo, and it's just wide. It's just wide from the former Brentford man. But what a move. What a move. That was a lovely little turn from Cunha. And he's running on through, and he's just beaten. I think it is it Rice? Is it or Ben White? It looks like Ben White. Beating Ben White for pace, and he just puts the ball through from Mbeumo. And I think the only thing you can really say from Mbeumo's point of view is he should really have shot earlier. He should really have shot earlier, and then between him and Diallo, they can't quite get a shot away. Arsenal deal with it, but then the ball goes back into the middle, and it's a very, very innovative, improvised effort from Mbeumo. It's just unfortunately past the post and wide from him as Ben White is down receiving treatment. Cunha is not happy. I think Cunha probably thinks that Ben White is playing for time here and is maybe just maybe just testing his luck a little bit with just trying to catch these Arsenal players with a bit of a breather. But yeah, Cunha definitely is not happy about the time taken, as it looks like Arsenal are about to make a couple more subs as play is about to resume. So we shall see what alterations Mikel Arteta is thinking of here. Looks like it's going to be Jurrien Timber for Ben White, who was just down receiving treatment. Whether or not that's a forced sub or not, we don't necessarily know right now. And Calafiori is off for Ainsley. I was going to say Ainsley. Why do I always say Ainsley Maitland-Niles? What is wrong with me? It's because he was a young kid coming through at Arsenal. Miles Lewis Skelly. And they've got 3 names as well. Just so stupid. But yeah, changes at fullbacks then for Mikel Arteta as Calafiori and Ben White are off and replaced by Miles Lewis Skelly and Jurrien Timber. Calafiori, of course, so far his goal, the difference maker in this game. But with 20 minutes to go of normal time, that can obviously all change as Kai Havertz is now on the right-hand side of the penalty area for Arsenal with the ball at his feet. Goes for the overlap of Timber. First involvement for him in this game. Tries to go down the outside. Dorgu does really well and wins a goal kick. Like I say, it's not been a terrible performance from United. I wouldn't say they've been awful. I wouldn't say they've been abysmal to watch. I think they've just lacked a bit of presence in the final third. They've lacked a killer instinct in the final third. That's the only problem I'd say for them. I think they've lacked a bit of creativity in midfield in that area. And of course, they have a goalkeeper who has poppadoms for hands. Other than that, other than those 3 things, it's actually been a decent performance. And like I say, I think there's a lot there to be intrigued by. I think there's a lot there to suggest that things can get better. And there's a lot there to say with a bit more work and a bit more fine-tuning, it could actually be a decent season. It's a cross. It's what a save by David Raya. What a save from David Raya to deny Bryan Mbeumo. United still on the attack here. Fernandez's ball in. It's headed across the face of goal by Sesko. Bryan Mbeumo so close to equalising there. So close to equalising there. What a save that is. It's a great cross in by Dorgu. Great cross in by Dorgu, and Bryan Mbeumo, free header, heads it down. And it's just pushed away by David Raya. Diving to his left-hand side, pushed away from David Raya. Man United, again, close to equalising. But, just denied by the goalkeeper. It's, again, not through lack of trying for United to get back on level terms here, but just little intricate, fine margin details, I guess you could say, that are just stopping them from equalising. You sounded like a Brummie just then when you said Ainsley. I don't know why I said Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I don't know why I said it. Obviously when at the time he was a young Arsenal player coming through the academy, just like what Miles Lewis Skelly was doing, and I don't know. It's just three names. Same Ainsley, Maitland-Niles, Miles Lewis. My head's all over the place. Memory, names, not exactly two of my strongest suits. Timber goes long, looking for Kai Havertz. Headed down by United defender, picked up the second ball really well there from Agate. Agate now sets it off to Cunha. Cunha trying to hold off the recovering Kai Havertz. He goes down looking for a free kick. Nothing doing. Arsenal can get the ball away. Odegaard, little slip there to Timber, and now Havertz again. Havertz down line to Timber, cut out by the defender and out of play for a Arsenal throw-in. It's an interesting game, this one. 15 minutes yet to go. United have done the majority of the attacking work. Arsenal haven't been that great. I've not been impressed by Arsenal, in all honesty. I've really not been impressed by them, in all honesty. Let's have a look at the stats here. 60% possession in Man United's favour. United have had 6 shots on target in comparison to Arsenal's 3. And they've also had 10 shots off target in comparison to Arsenal's 4. I've not been impressed by Arsenal. To say that this is meant to be an Arsenal side that have somewhat gelled and worked together more so than this United side, as Diallo goes for goal, but it's rolled into the hands of... To say that this is an Arsenal side that have been gelled and worked together for the past 5 years, and that on the opposite side of things is a United side that have got a brand new front line, obviously finished... 15th last year. I've not been impressed with Arsenal. I don't necessarily see where the improvement is so far. And I know it's only the game week 1 of the brand new season, so I get that. But I'm just not impressed with Arsenal so far. And in all honesty, if there was to be another goal in this, as much as the first goal came a bit against the run of play, as Diallo takes on Madueke down the right-hand side, it's a missed kick into the path of Cunha. He just couldn't roll it into the path of Mbeumo. Fernandes does really well to recover the ball and give it to Luke Shaw on the left-hand side. He goes for an early ball in, but David Raya claims with ease. As I say, if there was to be another goal in this game, you're probably looking at a United equaliser. And if that is to be the case, I say it would be... It wouldn't obviously be the worst result for Arsenal, but it wouldn't be ideal either when you obviously take into account the performance as well, I don't think. So there's definitely a lot to digest from this game. Welcome back, Ballum. How are you doing? Well, bro. Not to state the obvious, but it seems Arsenal are nearly there. 10 minutes to go, bro. 10 minutes to go, and so far they're hanging on, Arsenal. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but as I said the other day when it came to Liverpool, I said that you kind of you kind of just want to get them 3 points under your belt. You kind of just want to get them 3 points under the belt by hook or by crook, by any means necessary. You kind of do. But if United were to get an equaliser here, it's not been the greatest performance from Arsenal. It's not the best of results. Not the worst, but not the best, of course. Poor ball there from Agate. Allows Kai Havertz in. He goes through Harry Maguire and he wins a free kick. Harry Maguire has just came on, by the way, for Luke Shaw, and his first act is to give away a free kick. It was a poor ball from Agate, to be fair. That put him in trouble, but Kai Havertz slipped it through the legs of Harry Maguire, and he does concede a free kick. Would be a statement away win if Arsenal win this. I mean, their record at Old Trafford isn't the best. So it would be a good result for them. But I have to be completely honest. The performance, it's not done anything for me. But but there are going to be some games where that's going to have to be the case. Arsenal are going to have to sometimes win ugly. And this has been, so far, an ugly win. That the only difference maker is the goalkeepers, because one goalkeeper is absolutely abysmal and the other goalkeeper is one of the best in the Premier League. I wouldn't say he's the best, but I'd say he's one of, and has proven so these past couple of years. No fan today. Not that hot today, or at least not that humid for me, at least, that I need and warrant a fan. So no fan today. Arsenal free kick, dangerous position. Both Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard standing over this one. Rice goes for it, and it's into the side netting and out of play. I think the referee signalled for a corner, though. I think it may have took a deflection off Dorgu. Don't think it necessarily did. It was hit at a fair pace. Didn't really see that, to be honest, as Arsenal are preparing another change, and it's Mikel Merino. Merino is coming on, and it looks like Declan Rice has run his course today. Rice off, Merino on. Why did Liverpool make their game entertaining? 2-0 up, 2-2, and in the end, 4-2. Salah is now fourth in Premier League scoring record. Yeah, he's definitely chomping at the bit to get more, isn't he? I don't know. I think we're just going to be great entertainers this year. I really do. I think we're just going to outscore a load of teams. Ball gets whipped into the back post, cleared away. And well done, Diallo, for winning a free kick in that situation. Are you a fan of this new 8-second holding the ball rule? It's a new one. Yeah, it will be something that is used for the first few weeks of the season, and then something else will take the spotlight, and we'll forget all about this rule ever becoming apparent. And then what will happen is that with at about the 28th, 29th game week, the rule will magically be brought back by one referee. And then we'll go, well, in like match day 16, a certain goalkeeper, held onto it for about 12 seconds and you gave nothing. So you're sporadically using it again. It's like foul throw-ins. How often do you see a foul throw happen but not be called out? And then every so often, a foul throw will be called out. It's basically going to be like that. First few weeks, they'll be all over it to try and implement it and like get their point across. After like game week 5 or 6, no one will care. No one will care. The goalkeepers will just be holding on to the ball for however long they want. Poor challenge from Dogu, and Is he going to get carded? He gets carded! We got to win, people! That's 30 quid. I've just won 30 quid. Solid. Patrick Dorgu's booked, and I win 30 quid on Sky Bet. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Not a massive amount, but obviously we bet for fun. So big up Patrick Dorgu for getting me 30 quid. Good win for Sunderland yesterday. They needed this for their chances of staying up. Yeah, massive win for Sunderland. I'm sort of worried about them because I didn't know if buying all of those players was going to be as impactful as what everybody was making it out to be in terms of, implementing them all into the new system, the new setup, a new league. Was Granit Xhaka going to be... David Raya's also been booked, by the way. Was Granit Xhaka going to be going to be the same Granit Xhaka that left the Premier League a few years ago? That kind of thing. So I still have question marks over Sunderland, but it was a fantastic win yesterday. If I was West Ham, though, I know it's only game week 1, but there would be some serious alarm bells that would be ringing right now. There would be some serious alarm bells going if I was a West Ham fan right now. Wanted a draw, but this was a win-win match either way. Still time. There's still 5 minutes to go, and then whatever, or just under 5 minutes, I should say, and then whatever added on time there is for injuries and stoppages. Arsenal win, Cook United, United win, Cook Arsenal. It's... Like I said, they can analyze the performance. I don't know how much because it's only the opening game week of the season. But yeah, it's an interesting one. As Ugarte tries one, but it's sliced wide. That's poor from Ugarte. Can you do a thumbs up similar to your T-shirt you are wearing? Something like that. Something like that. Can you do Paqueta dance celebration from your sources? Is Paqueta definitely leaving? He needs a big team move now for his career. Well, I think City have moved on to the likes of Shirky and Reinders, who looked very, very good yesterday. I'm excited to see more of Reinders, even if it is for Manchester City. So that kind of excites me and annoys me at the same time. I don't know. I don't know about Paqueta, to be honest with you. I think what happens with Eze, if Eze goes to Arsenal, I think... Oh, bit of a scramble in there. Goes over, looking for a penalty. Nothing doing. Arsenal get the ball away. Only as far, though, as Bruno Fernandes. Plays it down the line from Mbuemo. And Mbuemo crosses the ball, deflected. It's fell into Sesko. Sesko touches it down. It's a shot by De Ligt. It's blocked. And Arsenal again scramble the ball away. A little bit on the ropes here, Arsenal, as United go in search of a last-minute equaliser. Maguire, back to Dorgu. Fernandes. Ball goes in. Headed by Sesko. It's gone wide. It's gone over. And Arsenal take a sigh of relief. Oh, it's a risky one, that. It's a risky challenge by Saliba. I think that's a foul. He's gone. He hasn't. I don't think he's made contact with the ball. It's a risky one from Saliba. That it seems to have been cleared. There doesn't seem to be any sort of jeopardy in that. Arsenal survive. But yeah, on Paqueta, I'm not 100% sure, bro. West Ham set to lose Paqueta and Kudos. I mean, Kudos is a big loss, and you saw that yesterday. He performed very, very well for Spurs, in all honesty. And if they lose Paqueta as well, that is just going to rub salt into the wound. Nice watch along, by the way. You did say you would try and do this one at the weekend, and you did. Yeah, I managed to get the time to do it. I'm hoping that I get more time to do it. To these, I really do enjoy these watch-alongs and chatting with you guys in between, and yeah, it's really fun. So hopefully I get to do more of these across the season. Anytime, bro. Anytime. It's always lovely to have you here, and it's always lovely to talk to you as well. So yeah, really do appreciate it, my guy. Really do appreciate having you here. Take care. Last few minutes of your watch-along. Yeah, we're coming to the end. There's 6 minutes of added on time to be played. United still going in search of a goal, but Arsenal trying to just take the sting out of the game, run it into the corner, and looking to run the clock down. As is Odegaard. Odegaard on his left foot stabs the ball through. It's struck high and wide and deflected for a corner to Arsenal. My flight is finally boarding. Thanks for the coverage. No problem, dude. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you have a very safe and sound flight to wherever you are heading, my friend. Big up to you, my dude. Thank you for joining me. I'll try to watch your next YouTube video when this is out. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be something out tomorrow, maybe. Got something like I've got an idea for tomorrow. I've got an idea. I'm just gonna have to put all the parts towards it. So we shall see. There'll definitely be something out tomorrow, regardless. But yeah, thank you for joining me, my dude. And yeah, I echo the thoughts of Ballum there. Safe flight home, Steve, or wherever you're going, and hope you get there all safe and sound, mate. Lewis Skelly now booked. The referee has found his cards all of a sudden, and everyone's now getting booked. Foul on Buemo. 3.5 minutes to go. 3.5 minutes to go in this game, and United have a free kick, which Bruno Fernandes will look to launch very, very long from the halfway line. Can Man United get an equalising goal here, or is Arsenal destined to see this out? Fernandes over the top looking for Maguire. Headed away, cleared away. Ugarte goes into the challenge and concedes a stupid free kick. And that might be it. That might be it. As far as what United are concerned, let's say for United, I'd probably argue that it's not been a perfect performance, of course, by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not been terrible. They've definitely given a lot of scares to Arsenal. There's been a lot of opportunities created by United. It's just been a lack of killer instinct. I think Mateus Cunha has been absolutely wonderful to watch in this game. I think Bryan Mbeumo has been lively. I think Dorgu has been solid enough at left wing back. They've just, like I say, they've just not had. They've just not had the killer finish. They've just not had the clinical edge going forward. Arsenal have lived a little dangerously at times, but they managed to get away with it. It's been somewhat unfortunate from United's perspective, but if this holds on for Arsenal in the final minute that remains, which it looks like it's going to, then it's a fantastic win for Arsenal. Like I said, the performance not amazing, the performance not great, and the performance definitely does need to improve. But I think if you're United, you can at least take some positives from this. Ball goes up in the air, is headed down and into the grateful arms of David Raya, who may actually be the match winner for Arsenal, considering that he's performed a couple of decent stops and saves in this game. One from obviously Cunha in the first half and another one from Bryan Mbeumo in the second. So I think if you're maybe looking for a match winner from me, cross in, and it was just ahead of him. I think the United defender got a vital touch there to stop the Arsenal player from scoring. And Mbeumo looks long, headed on by Maguire, just over Sesko, sliced away by Madueke, headed on, a little bit of head tennis, not where United need the ball. Odegaard, forward to Saka, over the top for Odegaard to run onto, but he ain't getting that, and Bayende can collect. Fernandes on the ball, and the final whistle goes. Mikel Arteta and Arsenal start the brand new season with a win. It's 1-0 to Arsenal. It finishes after a howler, a nightmare from Bayende in the Man United goal. Declan Rice's corner, too hot to handle, it seems, and Ricardo Calafiori, with the only goal of the game, made no mistake from extremely close range in putting the ball into the back of the net. His goal is the difference maker on the day. Arsenal run out as 1-0 winners. Set piece FC strikes again in the eyes of a lot of people. Arsenal keep a clean sheet. Arsenal win by 1-0. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Ricardo Calafiori, the hero on the day. But it wasn't through lack of trying for United. United definitely had their opportunities and chances. They just lacked a clinical edge up front. And even if they did, David Raya in the goal of Arsenal was definitely on hand to deny Man United from equalising at the very least. A lot there to be optimistic about for United, even from this Liverpool fan right here. It wasn't like they played terribly. There were some good moments. Matheus Cunha in particular was definitely inspired today and was definitely someone worth watching. But we saw glimpses, we saw cameos of Sesko. Bryan Mbeumo also had another good game. So, the debutants for United was certainly on show today. And like I say, with a bit more fine-tuning, you would imagine that United will probably get a tune out of this side. Like I say, I wouldn't say it was perfect from Arsenal. Would not say it was perfect from Arsenal whatsoever. But at the same time, they got the win. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters, especially at this early stage of the season. The performances can come a little later, but getting 3 points on the board, especially with obviously Liverpool winning on Friday, Man City winning yesterday, Chelsea dropping points today. Even at this early stage of the season, every point seemingly matters, and it's going to matter even more so. But solid display from Arsenal, I guess you could say. Not perfect, not amazing, still a bit of rustiness. We saw obviously their new boys, Zubamendi and Gyökeres today. Madueke as well came off the bench. Didn't look amazing by any stretch of the imagination. I think Zubamendi got better the later the game wore on. But yeah, definitely a lot there to ponder, a lot there to think about, and a lot to digest from both sides of the coin in this match and this scenario. Look, I want to thank everybody for joining me on this watch along. Thank you to each and every single one of you for joining me that has done throughout this entirety of this stream. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. Like I say, once again, thank you all so much. Hit up the comment section if you're watching on repeat, if for whatever reason. Anything that you thought about the game, anything that you thought about the performances. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling. Otherwise, I've been Fletch. This has been another watch along, and I'll see and speak with you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'll speak to you all again very, very soon. Peace.